2025. The time is now 6 p.m. Thank you to those who are in attendance in council chambers here at City Hall, as well as those viewing online. We're happy to have you join us this evening. Tonight, the invocation will be given by Pastor Ryan Seaton, and Councilwoman Young will lead us in the Pledge of the Allegiance. Please stand. Pastor.
Pray with me. Father God, we just come before your throne tonight in the only way that we know how, with humble, grateful hearts. God, you have made a way for us to know you, to be reconciled to you through your Son, Jesus Christ, and we praise you for that. Mm-hmm. Tonight, Lord, I lift this council and the many other men and women in this city that seek to lead us as a city. Lord, I pray that you would give them your wisdom to do so that we can live and move in the city in a way that brings honor and glory to your name. And Lord, I pray that you would just be with the leadership of this city as they seek to lead. Lord, I know that requires countless hours of being away from friends and family. And Lord, I pray that you would be with them as well. God, we thank you for the freedom that we have to be here and to do what we do. We know that that's provided by you. And so, God, we give you honor and glory that's due your name. It's in your Son, Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, you have before you the agenda for tonight's meeting. Are there any amendments to the agenda?
I have one amendment, adding a resolution requesting assistance for District 3 Jackson County paving projects. This will be item 8O on consent.
Thank you, Mr. Larson. Any other changes to the agenda for this evening? Do we have a motion to approve the agenda as presented, as amended? I'm sorry.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Next, we have address the council section. The first item is a presentation by Pascagoula Youth Soccer. Anyone here? No. Huh?
No.
We'll pass that. Next, we have
We do have one addressed to council.
address the council, the Cassio-Sanford
There you
Government
go.
Law Group legislative update.
Yes, sir.
Sandy,
Tonight we
Tamara,
have-
good to see you.
Yes, come on up.
Thank you
guys.
for being here.
Good evening.
We're happy to be here with y'all as always, and always very pleased to be able to continue working with the council and the city. Justin, the staff, everybody who's so helpful to us. We appreciate the teamwork and appreciate getting to continue our representation and being your voice and your eyes and ears in the Capitol in Jackson. We're just going to give I'm going to give sort of a brief overview of the last session and kind of where we are at this point, and then a little bit of what we see coming down the pipe for this year in 2026. And then Sandy's going to get into a few more specific things about what we're actually doing on behalf of y'all, like some initiatives for the city of Pascagoula. But just, and I know we have a couple of new members, so very pleased to have y'all. And we're just going to talk just a little bit about kind of just where we were this last session. This past session was a second session of the new term, which means it was a 90-day session. And obviously, you know, the first session is always a 120-day session when we start a brand new term. Then the next 3 are 90-day sessions. So we'll be coming up on a third session of this term. It'll be a 90-day session as well. It's going to start on January 6th this year. If things don't change, it would move on along and finish up in about the first week of April. They can suspend the rules and change that a little bit, as we saw this last session. But last session was a 90-day session, as I mentioned. It moved very quickly, and those 90-day sessions do move very quickly with all of the different deadlines and things that we have. I can tell you that there were over 3,000 bills filed. between the House and the Senate, so it's a lot of bills to track. We do track those, and we have our staff that tracks those. We try to look for anything and everything that could possibly affect the city. Justin, he keeps his eyes and ears open for them too, and I hope that y'all do as well. And the attorneys, sometimes they'll send us a note and say they see something that is concerning. We also do work very regularly and have regular conversations with Mississippi Municipal League, so that anything that is happening that's affecting the cities as a whole, try to stay involved in that as well. And then we send those weekly reports to Justin, and if he has other questions, or if the mayor does, or any of y'all, we always welcome those, and we'll be happy to dive into those further if we need to at any point. So this past session was rather contentious. Some of you may have heard that. It was probably one of the more contentious that we've seen since we've been doing this, and we've been doing this for quite some time, probably longer. But I'll date myself saying how long that we've been doing this, but it really didn't have anything to do with Pascagoula or any of the cities or counties in particular. It had to do with a couple of big ticket items that the leadership had a lot of difficulty agreeing on. The main one of that would have been House Bill 1, which was that income tax bill. It was all over the media how much they disagreed about that, and then they finally got to an agreement, and then there was an error in the bill, and then the other side took it and ran with it with the error in the bill, and just a lot of contention and disagreement stemmed from that, as well as a few other big ticket items like some healthcare issues and some other things like that, which, PERS would be another one. And then just really some other sort of economic development issues that they disagreed on. And that we're used to that happening most of the time. There'll be a few big ticket items that kind of suck all the air out of the room, but this time it was really, really a big one with that income tax bill. The two sides really got at such an impasse that they did not pass a budget. The House left and went home, and then the Senate left and went home, and they adjourned sine die with no budget in place. That's not the first time in the history of Mississippi that that's ever happened. I had to go back and research that, but it doesn't happen often. So they took a little break, and the governor called them back for a special session at the end of May, as y'all probably heard about. That just lasted a couple of days. They passed a very bare bones budget. They passed a budget enough to keep the state running, but no extra projects, no Gulf Coast restoration funds, no Tidelands, no Go Mesa, all the things that we've had a lot of success in Pascagoula at being able to get a lot of those funds, as well as capital expense funds and some other different types of funds that we can dip into and kind of piece all that together to put together a pretty good package of money for Pascagoula, and we've been able to do that. It was quite frustrating this year. I know if it's frustrating for us, it's even more frustrating for y'all. But we have met with the leadership on both sides, the Speaker's office, Lieutenant Governor's office, as well as numerous chairmen on both sides. And, I always just don't ever say that anything is for sure when you're dealing with the legislature, but they have told us that things are lined up for them to get in there and get to work, and that everybody on both sides feels that it's incredibly important to work on special projects for the cities and the counties and some of the redevelopment authorities and so forth, and public entities, and to make sure that the Go Mesa funds, the Gulf Coast restoration funds, Tidelands, and capital expense funds, that those things are used, allocated, and spread out, the way they should be. So we've really emphasized strongly and as nicely as we can that really, really needs to happen, and that places like Pascagoula, as well as some other public entities that we work with, such as the Gulfport Biloxi Airport and some other things, it's just very, very vital that those things come about this year. So we feel like it's lined up well. there could be some big ticket item that comes in there and blows it all up, but we don't think so. And they do seem very committed to being able to work through those issues and to start on those big ticket items that might cause some contention, try to work on those very early and get those off the table so that they can move on to budget and appropriations and finance and things like that. So that's what we expect, and that's certainly what we will be working toward, and we will continue having those meetings up until January. We are currently having numerous meetings with Coast Delegation, most specifically with Senator Wiggins and Representative Fondren about the Pascagoula initiatives and the things that we want to accomplish for Pascagoula, and making sure with Justin that we know exactly where the current projects are, how much has been spent, how much more we need, and what else we need to do to ask for more funding or whatever to keep those things moving along. And we'll continue to do that, but we're always open to ideas and suggestions. As I said, Justin and the staff and the attorneys and the mayor, they do a really good job of making sure that we get the information and the numbers and figures and graphs and charts and everything that we need to do our job. So we really appreciate that cooperation and the teamwork there. And that's sort of generally where we've been and kind of where we see it coming. It will be a very quick session, and we will have to move very quickly, and that's why we're trying to make sure we are ahead of the game and that we have talked to the finance chairman, appropriations chairman, the Coast Delegation, and the governor's office, lieutenant governor's speaker's office, to make sure that they already know what our initiatives are. And hopefully, we're a little bit higher on the list than some of the other people who wait till January to ask. So with that, I'm going to let Sandy talk about a few of the specific items.
Hello, it is good. I say this every time. It's good to be home. This is the only client I get to say it's good to be home, so I'm going to say it every time. I will keep this brief. I know you have a busy agenda, and I know from being here that people don't want to hear about Jackson a lot, so we're going to keep it short. I will tell you this, and I think you know this. Each of you have so much to do with every door in your district and things. Just know, take heart. This city has just grown in reputation statewide in the last, 5, 6, 7 years, and it's just the development here, the partnerships, things. It really has since day one. And you're lucky with Senator Wiggins and Representative Busby and now Fondren, who have, all of whom have grown up here. So it's just been a really proud thing to see. And I know we have several new council members, so Felix and Matt, forgive me. I'm going to just kind of give them a few highlights of, some things in the last 5 years since we've been working. It's just really is impressive to work with this team and the city manager, Justin, now and others in the local delegation. I was looking over this. In the last 5 years, downtown development state money is almost $20 million. Go Mesa money, and that time's $5 million. And I'll tell you in a minute, we've got a good 4 lined up when we're ready, we think. The police substation, 3.5. Tidelands is almost 2. Restore Act was 4. These are big pots of money, and if you look relatively to other places on the coast, you're doing well. And it's because you're not doing well because necessarily just because we're good. You're doing well because you're doing good things. We are. You're doing good things, and it's success breeds success in that world. So it really does. And then look, we've done the prepared food tax repealer twice. We've done hotel motel. We've done ARPA funding, qualified resort status, so you can have downtown sales of alcohol or whatever, and Main Street grant funding, and all of these things in a short period of time. Really short. And so be proud. The city's doing well. I wanted to just briefly talk about this session, what we think right now as we sit here. As Amber said, we got shut down last year. We were at the doorstep. We had things positioned well. Every city in that capital walked away with nothing. Okay, so so that's a hard pill to swallow. For the most part, we're going to have a similar ask. We've got 3 Tidelands projects in the portal for the for the Beach Park Pier, for the River Pier, and then we've got an addition for Lowry Island component to clean up there. Those are in the portal. No reason not to feel optimistic about those things. We have Go Mesa project, the Live Oak corridor. It's been a third, 1/3 funded at $2 million. It was a total of about $6 million. The other two phases, we feel very good about with DMR and the governor's office that those will be there. The cities, we're going to have to kind of finish the design part of phase 1. It's funny, we got to spend the money to get more. So it's a good problem, and we're going to, and that may have to be one that we wait on, but the project is, it has very positive feedback. And then we have the Gulf Coast Restoration Fund ask for Lowry Island development, which is $2.5 million. The GCRF outlook is shifting a little bit from where it has. We're about halfway in 15 years, so we're about 7 or 8 years right now left. There seems, and it hasn't been funded in 2 years. You may recall 2 years ago, nobody got any money. We were able to kind of work around the things a little bit and get capital expense money for Pascagoula. We couldn't, but so the GCRF has two years. It's back about $60 million this year. It's going to have about a double allocation. There has been a push from different circles to kind of focus on less projects that are more in lines of huge job creators, economic development drivers.
Really transformational.
What they would call, transformational.
Transformational and infrastructure type things.
That's, and in a place like Pascagoula, GCRF has been transformational to downtown, which has transformed the city, but more job creation. They like cybersecurity and AI, and they like. That said, Lowry Island may not, we don't know if it will fit specifically in this lens, but there are more than one way to skin a cat, right? And so if there are capital expense dollars, if there is bond money, if there are things, we will work with the delegation. The project is good, it's solid. And so, and one good thing about other avenues is those aren't reimbursement programs. GCRF is. Those are appropriations. So however we get there, Mayor, I'm sure it doesn't matter to what account it comes from, right, in the state. So
you can rest assured there's no pot of money there that we're not.
we
will check into every pot that we can possibly get a hold of.
We know them all. But that's an overview. We do not have any repealers that I know of this year.
We just passed that other one.
Last year was the prepared food, so that's
tax.
another 4 years. I'm sure there will things come up, and Michael, Jesse, things come up all the time. We're having an issue here. And a lot of times there's something out there, or we get with MML and say, look, we don't need to lead this fight. We certainly will support you in this. So that will conclude what I had to say, and we're happy.
The only other one thing I wanted to say is just, it is really, really impressive, and it makes our job a lot easier in that capital with the fact that the city of Pascagoula, the PRA, the county, and a lot of other bodies around here are working so well together, and it shows some cohesion and some continuity and some cooperation. And I'm not going to point out anybody, but there are some other cities up and down the coast and throughout the state that that's not the image they're putting out, and the legislature sees that. But when they see a big group of people and different organizations working together and all this just cohesive effort to do things for Pascagoula and Jackson County, it just really makes the argument so much easier when you're talking to legislators, instead of, well, they just fight amongst themselves and that's all they do, and then they get the money and they don't get anything done. We don't ever have to hear that about Pascagoula, so kudos to y'all for that.
Yep.
We appreciate y'all and everything you do, the funds that you have worked with the legislature and brought to us the last years. It's just amazing. We're hoping that we will get a big chunk of that $60 million that's coming this year.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's great. Any questions, any comments to?
Want to say, Jack? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Steve.
I just want to thank them for what they're doing.
No, absolutely.
Quick thing on GCRF.
Yeah.
Do you anticipate them to change the application process to the portal, or?
I don't think so. What's changing a little bit is between Portland and legislature, which is the advisory committee. There's a little bit more there where there's a little bit more general feel there that they are sending too many projects and they're sending too many dollars. But there's no agreement. And the legislation says the advisory committee is there to recommend, projects, not dollars, not a certain number. But there is some, I think, honestly, Matt, it's a little bit of our time is shrinking on this money. And so there's a little bit more of an urgency, like we need to have, create something like that. But I don't think the portal process itself, except that it's more important, you just about can't get GSRF money without going through it like you could in early days.
Well, and that's really helped us. I mean, 'cause I'd hate for them to get away from, focusing on small projects.
Oh, yeah, no,
It needs to stay that way, and that portal system really needs to stay in place the way it is.
Yeah.
It has helped weed out some of the things that probably shouldn't have been,
Exactly.
And I should,
funded. Before we had that portal system,
Yeah.
there were things being funded that probably didn't fall under GCRF, so
yeah.
I agree with you. I don't see MDA changing that.
No, and I should have mentioned one thing we'll also try to do is we will also try to get money through some port for PRA, just discretionary money so that they can incentivize business, use the program that they have to incentivize others. Not just, Lowry Island, that's a standalone, but also PRA needs to continue to have money to incentivize others to keep doing development as we can, especially as that zone expands through the city, so. Yep.
With that being said, also, has all the municipalities that apply for money within, has everyone gotten money that applied so far, or?
I don't know. The reality is 6 counties get this money.
Right.
6 counties are able to. 6 usually do. The coastal counties get the most. The most populous ones, Harrison County, probably Jackson have gotten the most. I think most cities have. Cities that have done well are the cities that have redevelopment type authorities. That it's not doesn't have to everything doesn't have to run through y'all's desks. You have a redevelopment that's flexible and it can do it. And that's been a model that people have seen work here and frankly have tried to emulate in some form or fashion, wouldn't you say?
I think, absolutely. I think Pascagoula has become an example of how to do that well. There has been some talk about some of this money that has been awarded in past years to projects that have not moved at all in certain places, and there's just been no forward progress at all, that they might possibly claw some of that back. Now, don't quote me on that because they might not do that, but there has been some talk about the fact that they're not just going to let it sit out there perpetually and not accomplish anything. So there's been some talk about creating a process to claw some of that back and put it back in the GCRF pot.
Well, and that's understandable. That's not the purpose of the GCRF
It's gonna happen.
funding.
It's not to sit out there as like some sort of
Absolutely.
perpetual revolving loan or something
Right.
like that. So
It's hard for cities to move real fast comparatively anyway. And then you get this, and it's a reimbursement, and there's percentages. It is. So y'all have a good setup. It works well.
Pascagoula has always been able to show a very good progress of forward movement on everything, though. Even if we're doing things in phases, we've always been able to show that we're completing phases and moving along.
And the legislature
Projects
likes
I'm
that.
talking
They
about
do.
are like no progress at all, like
They
it's
do.
still just sitting there. So they may take a look at some of those, but Pascagoula is not in danger of that because it's moving along well.
We feel quite blessed. Thank y'all for
We do
coming
too.
tonight.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Take care.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, y'all.
Next, we have public comment section. We're pleased to provide an opportunity at each meeting for comments by citizens limited to 3 minutes of speaking time per speaker for a total of no more than 30 minutes. The public comment section of the agenda is not a question and answer session. The mayor, council, and administration officials will take all comments under advisement and may respond or take other potential action at a later time if warranted. Tonight we have 4 individuals who have signed up. We'll start with Ms. Cannon.
Good evening. My name is Lisa Clark Cannon. I reside in the community of Forts Lake, which is just north of the annexation area. I am here in regard to the affidavit of posting, which is a sworn statement by Michael Slaughter, your attorney. It was filed on October the 23rd. So as an interested party in this proceeding, I receive legal documents, legal notices, and one filing prepared by your attorney, Michael Slaughter, and filed on October the 23rd was an affidavit of posting regarding the public notice. City ordinances generally prohibit posting signs on light posts or light poles and electrical poles. So I found it quite interesting and unusual that the affidavit referenced such locations. Given these rules, I would have expected your attorney to verify compliance before posting. To confirm the postings, because I certainly didn't want to point fingers without confirmation, I visited each site. There were 16 sites listed, and I visited them on October 24th. So at several places, including Miss Alla, Dollar General on Forts Lake Road, Franklin Creek Baptist Church, Trinity Pentecostal Tabernacle Church, and the East Jackson County Community Center, Chevron, and others, I found no notices, nothing. In one instance, a church member did report that their pastor had removed the notice, but that only 2 people had actually seen the notice. I did go to the Jackson County Port Authority Industrial Water Plant and the Stennis Boulevard Terminal Road as well. And I found very large packets there. One was attached to the entry sign, that was the one at the water plant, and the other one was actually affixed to a power pole. And of course, that is a violation of state and local. And I think the city of Pascagoula also has ordinances and things that you don't do that. So, pretty surprised. I did attempt to find notices at other locations, including some commercial stores and the Gulf LNG facility, and I was unsuccessful. I found no notices. According to the affidavit, notices were posted at 16 sites, but I could only locate 2. Conversations with community members suggested limited visibility and effectiveness of these postings. While Mr. Slaughter may have placed the notices as described, I question whether sufficient public notice was really rendered. Thank you.
Next, we have Ms. Stringfellow.
Good evening. I'm Annette Stringfellow, and I live in the Forts Lake community as well, and I'm a concerned taxpayer and citizen of Jackson County.
But you don't live in the annex area?
No, sir, I don't. I just live just north of it.
Thank you.
Looking at the city's annexation study of June 3rd, 2025, it shows a field survey was conducted in late August of 24, well before anybody knew of the public notice of this annexation. In the demographic data sheet in Slaughter's field survey and calculation, I note a continued concern. Can the city take 1.5 times the amount of land financially and have the ability to maintain service, etc., of that extra area? The projection is of the city going from 15.4 square miles to over 40 square miles. With square miles, it adds 42.5 miles of local roads, almost 31 miles, excuse me, of state and federal roadways. Can the city maintain its current roadways and the extra 42.5 miles of roadways? Another concern for you and your current citizens is urban sprawl. Urban sprawl can become extremely costly for the city to provide the municipal level services and facilities to the area as your petition states and statutes regulate. And keep in mind, the area does not currently have infrastructure in place, as was in the case of the recent Ocean Springs annexation, and that annexation was a little over 3 square miles, not 25. Urban sprawl can be an extremely expensive manner for the city to try to service, especially when infrastructure has not been implemented. There appears to be several discrepancies with the study. For instance, the section on dwelling units reflects data was taken from the 2020 decennial census for the number of dwelling units in the city and the annexation area. But the field survey in late August 24 appears to not have considered the city's dwelling units because the number remains the same. The dwelling unit numbers for the annexation area decreased. This seems to be unreliable data if both city and annexation area is not reported within the same time period. Now, you say your city needs room to grow. You have talked about new housing and other factors that the annexation area can offer to your current citizens. So my question is, what are your plans for residential growth in the proposed annexation area? Subdivision, apartments, townhouses, what? With growth in the annexation area, you would need more families with school-aged children. You continue to say the annexation proposal will not change current school district lines. So future growth, you could be placing a burden on the Moss Point School District by adding to its enrollment. As I said at your last meeting, annexation may cause a dilution of your current support staff, emergency services, public works, etc., and potentially increase the number of students to the Moss Point School District, and could have a saturation effect on the district. and that's teacher-student ratio. The city should reconsider this annexation and vacate this plan. Consider withdrawing at tomorrow's motion hearing before more expense is put out by your current citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Stringfellow. Ms. Brown, you're next. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Stephanie Brown. I live at 8550 Marthaler Road. I am very definitely in the crosshairs of this annexation. I know that y'all have all put a lot of time and money and thought into this annexation, but there is a tremendous cost to the people that you are trying to annex. Time. I've already been to 4 meetings to tell y'all over and over and over again, we do not want to be annexed. We do not. Okay? Money. Our taxes, we already pay Jackson County taxes. If y'all are successful in this annexation, Jackson County is not going to decrease their amount of taxes they're going to charge us. We pay Moss Point taxes because that is a school that provides education to our kids. Moss Point is not going to decrease our tax burden. They're not. And I'm sure that if y'all are successful in this annexation, y'all are going to think Pascagoula needs to be taxing us. And I know the poor low taxes that I pay is nothing compared to the money that y'all have around over here, but it is very important to me, and it wouldn't just be for now, it would be from now on, because once taxes are started, they are never decreased. And like I say, I live at 8550 Marthaler Road, Moss Point, Mississippi. If y'all are successful in this annexation, am I going to have to change my address to Pascagoula, Mississippi? Trying to change address on all the forms and things. Letting my family know a change of address. That right there is aggravating, if nothing else. Another thing, if y'all are successful in this annexation, traffic coming off of the interstate into the area right at Franklin Creek, it's going to be a nightmare. It really would be. It's already fairly congested in that area, but I can see that it would really get to be a very big problem. All righty. And I've got to put my glasses on for this part. You say Pascagoula is a special place with a rich history and strong sense of community. The rural area that you are seeking to annex also fits that description. I'm sure roots run deep for families in both areas. I know mine do, starting in Pecan. My mother-in-law was born in Pecan in 1906. My husband was born there 80 years later. I've had 2 sons born there. I lived there myself after I got married for 46 years. This is home to me. I mean, you know, even though I'm not living in Pecan anymore, but Marthaler Road is really considered part of Pecan. So that's, well, anyway. I am very much opposed to this annexation.
Thank you, Ms. Brown.
Can I just answer, this is probably an assumption on my part, but I believe it to be true, is that addresses are determined by the Postal Service. Just because you're within the city limits or not in the city limits is determined, your zip code is determined by the Postal Service.
When we first moved to Pecan back in 1968, our address was Pascagoula, Mississippi. And for some reason, many years later, it was changed to Moss Point. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Mr. Haynes, you're up next. Introduce yourself, please.
Yes, sir. My name is Cameron Haynes, and wait, is the mic up? Is the mic on? Okay. My name is Cameron Haynes, and I'm from Ward 3 here in Pascagoula, Mississippi. I'm here to address Scoville Avenue needs some lines. And also Telephone Road needs lines like bad. I can't address Moss Point because this is Pascagoula and Moss Point. Well, they got to deal with what they have. No offense to all those who spoke on the annexation. If I did offend you, I'm sorry. Well, Andrews Avenue, right there in the intersection of Telephone Road and Andrews, is gonna crack. Something, I don't know what it is, but it's like a ditch is building right there in the middle right there. And then Jackson Avenue coming to the city council office, I might be spoiling everybody quick. It needs lines too, because it's fading. And what else? Who else? Daggone, I can't even say the street. Magnolia Street need lines too. And Jackson Avenue, as soon as you go across that traffic light, for every person with a low car, it needs to be some sort of edge there. That way, it won't, like the front end of the car won't like make noise and then someone's end gets towed up and then have to pay dollars just to get it put back on.
When you're coming from Jackson heading towards City Hall, right?
Not right
It's
there.
the other way.
It's
Okay.
the other
Heading
way.
away.
It's
Okay.
the other way,
Okay.
Councilman Bradenstein. And who else? Oh yeah, lines need to be put on Pascagoula Street as soon as you pass Krebs Avenue, or paving at this point, because all them bumps to cover up the water hoses and whatever goes on needs help. It just needs help. And Mr. Councilman Fournette, we might need some lines. Actually, not lines. We need lights. A few more lights. No, on that bridge we need some lights because it's dark, especially at 9. I don't know how it's all set up. And Pascagoula Street, right there past Collective Church, going close to Highway 90, it needs a debunking or some sort of paving because it's rough. It's a little rough in that patch right there close to Collective. Not where Joe Avenue is. That's fine. And that's it.
Okay, we're working on most of those projects, most of those desires of yours, and we're gonna get them as soon as we can. All we can work on. Thank you.
How you want?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have 3 public hearings for the Planning and Building Department. Mr. Church, the floor is yours.
Thank you.
Y'all be careful. Thank you.
All right, our first property tonight is 2114 Convent. This house dates back, LOV started in 2018 with trash and debris, then there was multiple vehicles there. In 23, there's an LOV for the dilapidated vehicle, and 24 for the house, another vehicle. And then January 25, it was condemned for lack of utilities. And here we are again and back to dilapidated structure again. This is what the front of it looks from the street. It's vacant at the moment. I don't believe we could let anybody move back into it, the condition it's in. As you can see, it's fallen in disrepair. The carport there on the side, get around to it here, you see the roof is caved in on it. The ceilings are falling in. The house is in poor shape. Mr. Stevens has been in contact with the owner. They went over there and boarded up some windows, made it secure, and have left it. This thing is a continuous issue. So as of it's been vacant for about 2 months now. Mr. Stevens told her the house was not up to code. The taxes were sold in 23. They want to repair the home, but this is going back to for a couple of years now that we've continued to have these same issues. Code enforcement thinks that we probably need to put the pressure on them either to repair it or it needs to be removed. It's got some issues with it. Not that it's not repairable, but it's going to be an expensive repair, as you know, Matt. So what we're asking for tonight is a resolution to remove the structure if they do not want to work with us immediately and get permits to make the repairs.
Is there anyone present tonight to speak for or against this property? Does the owner of the property currently reside in Pascagoula?
No, they do not. I believe they are in Goshen.
They were notified of the hearing,
Yes,
though,
yeah,
right?
we have spoken with them. I've dealt with them on multiple properties. They own multiple properties in town.
What was the last conversation you had with them?
The wife
Last
wanting to
update.
know what needed to be done, and he told it needed to be brought to code. We need to get inside and do something that we've yet to be able to get inside. They boarded the house up and cleaned up the trash out of the yard and kind of called it good. But it's beyond that. The structure has issues, siding's falling up, the roof's caving in. The windows look like the windows that were put in that house in the 40s when it was built. It's in poor condition.
So you're asking for a vote by the council to declare it a menace
Yes, sir.
and give them a certain amount of time to do substantial
Yeah,
repairs, and
you
then
know,
if
if we can
not,
do
remove the house.
Right, the typical 60 days, if they get in there and they start making repairs, they get the permits and they're doing it, and they're making progress, we'll work with them. But if they're not gonna do anything in 30 to 60 days, we just need to move forward and be done with it.
Well, we don't need to wait, in my opinion, on this one 60 days. They need to have a permit in place in the next week or 2 or 3.
Okay, we can do that. I mean, if you want,
This is one that's, it's close to our ball fields, it's close to our
Yeah,
schools,
yeah.
and it doesn't need to stay in this condition.
And it was condemned 10 months ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Josh, what about the rest of their properties? Do they take care of them or?
Some, they've got some older properties, and a lot of them are long-term tenants. And, you know, we run into problems here and there, a lot of it's the tenant, but they do take care of it. This one, I'm just not sure they want to spend that kind of money on. It's gonna take quite a bit of money. You know,
Is
we
there
had
a
it-
motion to declare 2114 Convent Avenue a menace to public health, safety, and welfare and assess a penalty of 25% to the cost of cleaning?
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? And so that motion will include a 2-week time period for permits to be in place to repair it.
Well, that's gonna mean y'all need to go inside and see
Yeah,
the
let's-
extent, and there's probably.
I would rather do a 30 days, so that gives us time to go do an inspection,
Let them know what's necessary.
let them know what's necessary, and then they can figure out whether they can do it, or they may want to tear it down, which would be, you know, fine with us. So, 30 days, you know,
Yeah.
we're not rushing it, and we're not, you know, being too forceful on it.
30 days. Any further discussion? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion passes. And the next property on
The
Convent.
next property was 2015 Convent. That property's been removed. They took care of the issue. It was kind of across the street from this one, but they have resolved their issue. Code enforcement's inspected and passed it.
And then we go to item 7C, 1106 Resca de la Palma.
1106 Rusca de la Palma was sold. They closed on it here a week or so ago. So it's a new owner that we did not, but he came in and spoke with code enforcement, and they are moving forward on making repairs that need to be made. New owner, so,
Bringing it up to code.
yes.
Thank you.
Do we need to leave that one as contingent upon them actually doing something? Like pass
Or you'll
the
bring it
resolution,
back.
but
Yeah, we'll bring it
to-
back because we noticed the previous owner, and then it changed right before.
So we would have to start over
We
anyway.
would have to start over,
Okay.
so, you know, they've met with him twice, and they're moving forward on making the repairs.
Thank you, Josh.
Yes.
Next, we have the consent agenda. Does any member of the council have any questions about the consent agenda?
I have a question about the paving.
Mhm.
I have a question about paving.
Yeah.
Do you want me to ask that now? Okay, so on the paving list, we have this to submit this list to District 3 Jackson County Supervisor Ken Taylor. But because it includes streets, on the list, citywide, should it be sent to District 2 Supervisor Morris and District 3 Supervisor Ken Taylor?
Yeah, and we'll send it to Joe O'Neill too, who's over all the roads, and so that's who we'll send it to. But
Okay.
this is just for Ken Taylor, Supervisor Taylor's paving funds, and so that's why the list would be sent to him. But yeah, we'll get it to all parties.
Okay, so does the resolution need to reflect that it should be sent just to Jackson County as a whole, or does
Sure.
it need? I don't want it to get missed for District 2's streets.
I just think the
Next
resolution
go
says
round.
request assistance from District 3 Jackson County Supervisor Ken Taylor, because that's whose paving funds there are. And so I think that the resolution's okay.
So we feel like the funding will cover everything that's on the list?
We're gonna submit the list.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah.
He will let us know that.
It's not gonna make
Well,
it.
Right, that's what I figured.
Yeah, they'll send this back to us with what they have finalized. This is just our request, and then they'll
Right.
pick what they want to do.
So I reviewed the list, and I assume the roads are prioritized in each ward, like the one we want the most is at the top, correct?
This is just the general list, but there were priorities within that. So this was just a list for you to, this is the draft list for you to check it out and see if everything that you want for your wards is included.
But the county does not necessarily follow our list of priorities. They will pave the roads they choose to pave in their districts.
They will follow if what we ask them to do, which, like as far as milling and paving goes, which after, I think we're gonna ask for all to be milled and paved, all roads to be milled and paved.
After the
So
last
we don't,
situation.
so we don't have any issues. And so, yeah, I think it's just best bet to do it that way, start fresh.
So they're doing a great job in Ward 2 with the striping,
Mhm.
the indicators or whatever those reflectors
Yeah.
are called, and that we really needed that. So on the email today that you sent out, or either yesterday, those 3 additional roads that we had talked about,
They're on the list.
those are added to what was requested initially, right? Like
They're on this list.
right,
Yep,
right. So,
yep.
okay, so, okay, so-
They're on there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Any other discussion or questions about anything on the consent agenda? Do we have a motion and second?
So moved.
Motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion passes. Next, we have city manager's agenda items. Mr. Larson.
Yes, sir. We have item 9A is a resolution awarding bid and contract for a 12-inch water main crossing at Highway 90 and Hospital Road project. The city received 5 bids for this project, and the lowest and best bid was for JLB Contractors LLC out of Long Beach, Mississippi, in the amount of $710,505. This project is to connect the water systems on the north and south sides of Hospital Road, which will provide better reliability and pressures in the area as well.
Is there a motion to approve the resolution awarding bid and approving contract for a 12-inch water main crossing Highway 90 and Hospital Road?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Yeah, one question. Will this come out of utility fund or?
This is this is ARPA, yeah. This is an ARPA funded project.
And the money's there
Yeah,
in the budget.
oh yeah.
How will they put a 12-inch water line across Highway 90 without totally disrupting
I
traffic?
believe, James can tell you, but I believe it's going under.
Board?
Yeah.
It's a jacking board, so they'll dig a pit on each side of the road.
Oh, that
They'll push a
tunnel?
push a big steel pipe under the road and then put the water line in the pipe.
Very good.
So it'll be mildly disruptive, particularly on the north side of Hospital. They will have to dig a hole in the
But
road
not what
there.
you would have if you dug a ditch across Highway 90
Correct.
to
Yeah.
place a 12-inch water line.
Yeah.
Thank you, James.
How far is that thing going up?
It's just
One
it's
side
just
of the road
connecting.
to the other.
Yep.
It's connecting to existing lines.
So the entire Hospital Road, right?
It's just
About
connecting.
400 foot of pipe
Yep.
connecting just the north border of 90 to the south border of 90 on Hospital Road.
Yeah, but not down.
No. There's already a new water line on south.
Disruption, no more down there.
No, we're not messing, you're okay.
No more disruption.
Gotta wash hair, right?
We have,
It's fun.
we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion passes. Next is docket of claims A. Are there any questions regarding the docket of claims A? Do we have a motion to approve the docket of claims A?
So moved.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion regarding the docket of claims A? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The motion passes. Next is docket of claims B. Are there any questions regarding the docket of claims B? Do we have a motion to approve the docket of claims B?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion regarding the docket of claims B? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Next is docket of claims C. Are there any questions regarding the docket of claims C? Do we have a motion to approve the docket of claims C?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion regarding the docket of claims C? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion passes. Next, we have mayor council items. Councilwoman Brandenstein, anything for mayor council items this evening?
Two things real quick. Just wanted to thank Justin and the staff. Had the pleasure of touring the Mayor's Youth Council last week. And it was just really great to hear from the students, their perspective, what they were interested in, what opportunities there might be. So it was really good feedback. And I think it's a great opportunity for them just to learn more about their city. They were surprised about some of the things downtown that's been happening. They were aware of many of the things. So I think it was a great learning experience for all of us. So thank you for that. And just also wanted to give a kudos to the fire department for the Halloween activities that they did the day before, on the 30th of last week. Appreciate the community engagement. That's it.
Regarding the Mayor's Youth Council, I did see my daughter holding a machine gun, I think.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that part, but
Don't worry, she was safe. It was
I'm
fine.
glad I
It
was
fine.
there in the afternoon.
Parker gang.
Councilman Stallworth, anything this evening?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Chief for last week. Everything was safe. You did a great job. You had plenty of officers there.
That's great. People behind me.
So we appreciate all of you
Very much.
for a safe event. Thank you.
I agree with that.
Councilman Fournette.
Yes, sir. And there's another thing, Justin and I talked, and so did Josh, about the convenience store right there. So I think we need to take a second look at that, and we talked about it briefly.
We're working, so the convenience store on Nathan Hill and Emerson that we've spoken about in the past, we have to do it over again, come back in here again. There was an owner, a lien holder on the property that we weren't aware of that we didn't notify.
But
So
we're moving forward.
we are, and we've got a camera on that property now to try and catch the folks that keep dumping things there. There was a car that was removed that had been just left there, and so we're working to where we'll be able to clean it up.
Right.
Yep.
So, but in talking with you, I know we were talking about demolishing the building, but I was just wishing that we could use that building for something that would, benefit the city.
Council, well, it's not, it's not ours,
Right.
but council will decide if you want to take it down or leave it, when it comes back around to y'all. Last time we voted to take it down. If we want to do something different, we'll have the opportunity when it comes back in front of you.
Yeah, the cameras will help, but I just don't think people is gonna do exactly what we need, because people can trash it and get out of
Yeah.
it so fast until.
The owners have to be held responsible for that, and so, yeah.
Councilwoman Young.
I have just a couple of things. One is, can you get Lindsay to resend out the rendering of the substation to the public? I can't seem to find it.
Okay.
So if you could send it to us as well.
Yeah.
I was
making
trying to
such
look
good
at
progress.
it. It's making progress, and I just was kind of interested to see what, somebody had asked me what the buildings were gonna look like, and I know James had mentioned that the roof lines were gonna change and some of those kinds of things, and I was trying to find the picture and I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
So, it seems like you sent it to me, but I'm not sure what.
We'll post an update too, because a lot has come along. They've got all the
Yeah.
K9 facility. They're about to pour concrete on the motorcycle facility, and so we've got a lot of progress there. We'll post an update.
Okay.
So the bike facility will be open, right? We'll be able to see the,
I'm not positive if that's gonna be wrapped off like the dog area or not, but, so I didn't realize that was getting that. I guess that was the second phase, and I wasn't aware of that.
it could be a distraction, people are watching the dogs, but I wanna see those bikes.
I don't mind showing off on
I
that.
know it, man. Let it happen.
Thank you. Councilman Parker?
Just a thank you to the county for getting our baseball field parking lot striped.
Very good.
It's good out there.
I'd just like to echo the comments about the homecoming and the avoidance of issues that so many of our neighboring cities had during homecoming celebrations. And I know that it was about the leadership in the police department. Terry, John, thank you all for that. And thank you to each of your officers who stood up and did the right thing and controlled a potentially dangerous situation.
Me and John can't take all the credit for that. We got wind of the threat. We went back there and shut down the CID division. About 1 o'clock, these men and women back there found out where the post originated.
That's the fair.
And it wasn't nothing to do with about the fair, but it was about the fourth hand. And can't go into details, but we took care of the problem. That threat was not gonna happen.
Thank you.
And my hat's off to those folks.
Absolutely.
You're referring to the fair, the threat for the fair, correct?
Yeah, great work.
It was initially homecoming, but people didn't realize that.
Oh.
By the time they got it, it was twisted towards the fair.
Yeah.
And we deal with that every year. We get pressed about the fair. Wow.
And I'm really proud of what's happening at the police substation out on Chico and Ogleville. It is looking great. That's $3.5 million of money well spent by the city. And the original idea was pushed by Councilman Fournette, and I appreciate his leadership in making sure that.
It didn't make me nervous. I thought he was about to give me another one down on Nathan Hill.
That's a good idea.
Give me a badge and I'll take care of it. Park Ranger. Park
Yeah, I like
Ranger.
it. I like it.
Next, we have executive session. We have a motion to go into closed session to determine if there's a need for executive session this evening.
Motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion passes. Thank you, everyone. This concludes the public portion of our agenda this evening.